Hi everybody, this is Tim from Tastes Like Burning, the podcast. Welcome to the inaugural vidcast of Tastes Like Burning. It may be a semi-regular thing, but in this edition we are doing some home improvements and projects. So welcome to the inaugural episode of Do It Your Damn Self, Tastes Like Burning's presentation to home improvements and projects. Right now what I'm showing you is the stair railing brackets. We had to replace it yesterday because the one on the top of the stairs actually broke as James was going up the stairs. So we decided to go ahead and replace them all so they were uniform with new updated brushed steel, and they're a lot thicker than the last ones. I think the last ones were stock with the builder, so of course they're a little cheaper, but we replaced those. But today what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be doing a built-in shelf for the new living room. And that's going to consist of some 2x8s and some 1x6, I believe. What's the board measurements we're doing for this shelf here?
2x8 for the outer frame and 1x8 for the shelving.
That's right. So that's the stair rails. But what we're going to be doing, as I pan around here and show you, is we just recently redid our living room in wood, laminate wood flooring, as you can see down there on the floor. And we got the room all painted. This is new paint here, and we did an accent wall back there. And what we're going to be doing now is, no one saw that, is we're going to be, where the transition is right there between the two paints, we're going to be putting in a built-in shelf unit, which will have several small compartments that'll hold knickknacks and possibly CDs or DVDs. It's going to have several different spaces. Now, before you do a project like this, one thing you're going to want to make sure you do is make a really good plan, because you don't want to go into this thinking you have it all in your head, because it'll never work out the way you think it's going to. So what I'm going to show you right now is the plans that James drew up. You see, this is the room dividing shelf unit here, with the measurements and the materials that we're going to need. And here's a basic diagram of the shelf unit, as you will see it in the wall right there on the transition of the paint. And then, like I said, it'll have several areas for statuary, CDs, little knickknacks and things like that. But it's also going to provide a dramatic split for the room to kind of give you a transition, and also split the two rooms off so you have a definite border between the two aside from just the paint. Now, to do something like this, of course, you're going to need to find studs, make sure you have the right tools and equipment and materials before you continue with something like this. And we've gone ahead to the Home Depot, our local Home Depot here. We've gotten the materials that we've needed, which consists of the wood, and he has the necessary power tools to do it. We are also going to be finishing this particular shelf unit in a, I believe, a satin or eggshell black, which we're going to thin the paint a little bit so that the wood grain shows through. Now, of course, when you're doing any kind of project, you want to make sure that you have the proper safety equipment as well. And we do have safety goggles and gloves and all of that stuff. So what we're going to basically be doing is walking you through the building and installation of this shelf. And I hope you guys maybe learn something, or at least have fun watching this video cast. So anyway, when we next come back with you, we're going to be out in the garage doing some cutting on the wood. So we'll see you then. Now, as you can see on the plans that James has here, he's already predetermined and measured all the cuts and made a diagram. Now, you don't have to go that far, but it's always good to have some kind of drawing and notation of the cuts that you're going to do and on the materials you're going to do. That way you have less chance of screwing it up and having to go buy new materials. Now, he also has some scale drawing on here of all the cuts, and this is actually going to be the way we're going to put the shelf unit together. So he's got all of this labeled out, the let's see, the verticals, the dividers, the horizontals, in the order that we're going to put it together, and that'll help us in the end too. Now, what we're going to do, and it's not shown on the drawing, we're going to have feet on the shelf unit that are recessed, so it's kind of hidden. And as you can see down here on the table, that's an example of one of the feet. So it'll be an inch on either side in from the edge, and they'll be recessed so you can't really see them, but it'll also help us with the issue of getting it around the crown, or not crown molding, but the floor molding and the quarter round that we had to put in for the wood floor.
I only need 5.
Okay, so now we have our feet cut, and there's more measurements to do and more cutting, so we'll get back with you guys in just a little bit. Safety first. All right, here we go.
Say, don't you stick your hand under there, Brendan.
Should I save those pieces, do you think, or no? I want to use the most square end because we don't want any weirdness. Now for those of you who are going to email in and say, oh, your hand's there when the blade's moving, shut up. We're not professionals, but we're staying safe, and there's a guard, so chill out.
Move your thumb.
I beg your pardon?
I said move your thumb. You had
I'm
it in
not
the
going
line.
to put it like this. I'm not a complete monkey, you know.
You can do.
Alright, so there we go. There are 5 feet all cut, and don't do that. And supposedly they're all going to be the same length. Yes?
Yep.
Alright.
Except for that one you held retardedly.
What?
Just kidding.
I did no such damn thing.
Yes, they're all the same size.
All the same size. So there are our feet, and we'll be able to put those on with the brad nailer, I guess, when we're ready. And that's how they're going to go on the actual piece. And again, they'll be recessed from one end so that we don't have to remove the molding on the floor and the cord ground, because that could be bad. You'll notice a lot of these things that we're doing, and even on the walls and on woodworking, is we're drawing pencil lines on them. And that's okay, because not only do they easily erase, but they're totally covered by any kind of paint, unless you're doing a really thin white layer of paint. But again, they're easily erasable, so that's always something to keep in mind. If you're going to do something, do it in pencil, because pen will stain the wood and you can't erase it, and it might not always cover up easily by paint. So there's a little mid-break tip for you there. Hey everybody, it's Tim. I'm doing a little mid-break kind of handy helper tip thing. Not brain science really, but some stuff that you may not think about in everyday household chores that I thought I'd offer up to you on Do It Your Damn Self here. One thing that always annoys me is, you know, you're drying your clothes, the dryer's done, you have to clean the dryer vent if this is the type you have, you pull it out, you know, you gotta clean it off, which I just tried to roll it off or whatever. One thing to help you clean it off you can use is one of these little brush and pan sets. These little brushes are really convenient for rolling it up and off of the dryer vent screen there. But then once you put it back and you're all done cleaning, you've got this dryer lint dust all over the top of the dryer. So one thing you can do is, if you have a spent Swiffer duster that you don't think it's kind of at capacity and you don't think it's really good for dusting inside the house anymore, is keep an extra one of those out here. And as you can see, it's really full of dust and not really good for anything as far as you know, but you can use this to easily clean off, and it will catch all of this dryer lint dust. And that will help you keep your clothes cleaner without having to worry about cleaning this off with a rag or towel before you put clothes up there or anything else. So there's a little tip for you to think about on Do It Your Damn Self.